Everybody's life is uncertain. We really know that. But this one stares you in the face and reminds you every minute that there's chaos just waiting right out over the edge. That's just what it is. And then it challenges you, okay, live with that. So what are you going to do with that? When I was getting things set up for Samantha's birth, lots of people gave me, parenting manuals and books like that. And I have to, after about the fifth month, right before she got diagnosed, I just threw them all out. I said, I don't have the parenting manual that applies to me.
The diagnosis happened on a Saturday afternoon, and we knew we were in trouble when they read from a paragraph in a medical school book, textbook, which is all the information they had at the time.
Then we had to really come face to face with the idea that this was pretty much as bad as our worst fears, and we were entering into something very frightening. And the baby that at one point we had such incredibly high hopes for, now we were just hoping that baby would survive.
There are 10,000 things to worry about. He doesn't feel any pain. So anytime he is near the stove, anytime he is near anything sharp, anytime he doesn't understand, if he climbs up, he falls, hits his head, you know what he says? I'm fine. He's not fine, he can have a concussion.
You almost get like a sixth sense of trying to anticipate what's going to go wrong. Because as most parents have found out with this disease, is if it can go wrong, it certainly will.
Things can change so enormously. Your child can be in very good shape, relatively speaking, and be able to attend their activities, school, work, whatever they're doing, and then the next day be in a horrific crisis. You're in the ICU. You might barely make it through the night. But that's what it's like all the time. It's always an emergency. It's always critical. It's always sort of begging for some help from somebody that you cannot plan for anything.
There was a period in her life where she went through annual surgeries, and I'm not talking about light surgeries, where significant day-long surgeries on an annual and sometimes a little bit more frequently basis. As a parent, it's so hard because you just want to put yourself on that operating room table, and you just want to go through all that pain, and you can't.
People say, why don't you sleep? And I say, why don't I sleep? Because I like to make sure that my son's okay. So if I hear the beeping and the noise, I know that the oxygen, pulse oximeter, the BiPAP machine, all of those machines that keep him alive at night are working and running.
As all parents do, you learn your child's, ups and downs, and what they like and what they don't like. But we also have to learn, just glancing at our child's face, that means their blood pressure is going down, and we've got to get them onto a sofa, in a nanosecond.
Everything in a family with a chronically sick child, everything in that family revolves around that child. And it's hard for another sibling to grow up in an environment where the sick child takes over all of your plans. Anything can change at any moment.
The other side of the coin is you don't want to make your kid feel like, you're being driven crazy by them and everything you have to do for them.
If I did not have the Dysautonomia Treatment Center and the foundation in my life, I think Samantha might not be alive. In fact, I could say almost assuredly she would not be alive.
They are second to none in terms of really giving us comfort, resources, and the technology. They really have made a difference.
That is what's keeping Simi alive. That is what, on a daily basis, that's how we know how to manage her. That's how we know what medications and what doses.
Yeah, quite honestly, that's how we know that it's not 50% die by 18 anymore.
You have an amazing, amazing medical team that you can rely on, and we're discovering new things every day. My child's life has improved so enormously over her 24 years.
Dr. Axelrod specifically has saved Michael's life more than once and has given us hope that things will get better in the future. And without this incredible organization, I can't imagine how bad things could have been.
Sometimes you don't actually need the cure, but you just need the hope to find the cure. And that's what the Dysautonomia Foundation gives me right now.
We didn't have a choice but to deal with FD. These people are crazy because they have a choice to deal with FD.
They don't have to do this.
And they've dedicated their lives to doing it.
To making sure that we have our daughter for
Yeah.
17 years and many more to come.
You can't help but be impacted and indebted to people who have voluntarily dedicated their lives to help my kid.